Hello, everybody. Welcome back to SNNATM. That is SSN at the movies, where we sit down and review movies. You know, some that are good, some that are bad, some that are postal. I'm going to remove Birdemic from that because we have our Birdemic for us, and it is postal. So that is now the lowest bar standard. And our highest standard so far, I think if both of us were to talk about it, I think it's probably like Mortal Kombat, the first one.
The original Mortal Kombat would probably be our top tier right now.
Which is saying something.
It really does.
Now, we may have a contender today, all right, that may take that top spot. And that film is Doom, made in 2005. Also, as a fun little side note, if you haven't noticed, I did a little set design thing. It's very sloppily made, but one day I'll fix it. My wife got me some LEDs in the background for my birthday. And I can change the colors, so when I'm normally streaming, it's SSN blue. When I do the review, motherfucker, well, when it works, you bitch, hold on, you little twat. There you go, I just gotta swear at it. It goes orange. And I also have a phone app for it, and I think it works a lot better than that, but I do it for the comedy. But yes, today, we're talking about Doom, released in 2005, starring, back then, a bunch of people, and then at the bottom of that list, a man simply known as The Rock. This is like Dwayne Johnson's second, maybe not his second film, but this is like one of his other biggest ventures out in the acting world. And at that time, he was still known as a wrestler before he was known as an actor. That they were using wrestler name to promote him as a star, which is kind of funny thinking about it now. Because for a while, he went as The Rock, switched over to Dwayne Johnson, and now he's back in this weird middle ground where sometimes they'll refer to him as Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Does he refer to himself that way?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go.
So
it's not like before where, in wrestling when he referred himself in the third person. The Rock thinks that he's not going to be like, well, Dwayne The Rock Johnson thinks. That'd be a hell of a name. You're going to fucking spill that out every time.
True. But like this movie itself, I believe he is not Dwayne Johnson playing anybody. Oh. I believe he's The Rock playing Sarge. It's almost like he's Dwayne Johnson playing The Rock playing this guy, because he's just The Rock throughout the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, pretty much, right? He's The Rock that gets to swear a little bit, right?
Yes. Lots of goddams and a few motherfuckers.
Yeah. Semper Fi, motherfucker. That line. And it's because he doesn't even scream it. Just like whisper angry talks to it with it. It's amazing. But this film,
it's The Rock voice.
Yes. This film was, I believe, distributed by Universal Pictures, if I'm not mistaken. And your overall thoughts, Tom, before we get into this, how did you feel with the Doom 2005 video game movie?
I'd say it's about on par with Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Okay, you just blew my mind. Really?
Yeah.
God, okay.
It's a stupid fucking movie.
I mean, yes, 100%. You are not wrong on that. That is, I agree wholeheartedly. Man, I think I have to rewatch Resident Evil Apocalypse now to see if those two measure up. Because in my mind, because Resident Evil Apocalypse is the second RE film, right?
Yeah.
In my mind, that one still kind of holds up. But now
I don't think so.
Now you're making me rethink this. Now you're making me think maybe we need. Oh no, maybe that might be the next movie franchise we're gonna.
We might have to now.
Oh no, we're gonna have to.
The comparison's been made.
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave it to the schmucks on this one. All right, okay. Yeah, this movie is. At first, I thought when I sat down and thought about it real hard, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Army of the Dead. Then I'm like, no, Army of the Dead's better than this. I'm like, is it better than? It's better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better than the 2021 Mortal Kombat? I'm like, it's just,
no.
Yeah. Like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm like, we're gonna have to maybe once I sit down and talk about this, we can really I'll have a definitive answer. I mean, it's better than Postal, so I don't have to worry about that. That's never going to be an
Yeah.
issue. But yes, this film, 2005's The Doom. All right, we're gonna go that way. Was directed by, and I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, Andrzej. I guess it's supposed to be like, if you're just saying it, Andre. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Andre.
I think so.
Yeah, Andre Bartkowick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir, if I'm butchering your name. I can't help it. This dude hasn't really directed a lot, but one of the films that he did direct, I absolutely love, and that's Speed, starring Keanu Reeves, and the only good Sandra Bullock film I've ever seen, because she's not the main lead in it. Romeo.
Come on, Miss Congeniality.
Oh, come on, don't even.
There's our next movie.
Oh God. Also, so Speed, Romeo Must Die, and Cradle to the Grave. And I say this, and like that's Romeo Must Die is, what is it? That's the Ashanti Jet Li movie.
Yeah.
And then Cradle to the Grave, that's the DMX Jet Li movie, I think. And I sit here and I'm thinking to myself, this dude just loves Jet Li. Like, he loves, like, this man, actor Andre, does, like, the cheesy action flicks. Like, Speed the 90s works. Like, that is a film of its time, so it works. It's cheesy, it's high explosive, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it doesn't need to. But then as we progressed in years, action movies kind of, like, got a brain. But this man's like, no, they must remain dumb and dead. They must remain no nonsense action. This is what it has to be. And unfortunately, that's not really it doesn't really work anymore. Unless you you do it ironically, then it works. Yeah. It's the music is made, unfortunately, by an individual that I've never heard of. He hasn't really made big films besides this. And I think he may have been a part of like Pride and Prejudice or something. But again, not the biggest thing. But the stars. This movie's got stars, man. Spades, which is shocking to me. Because not only do you have The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Sarge, you also, which by the way, if you don't know who this man is, you're out of your goddamn mind. This guy has been in Fast 8, The Scorpion King, Walking Tall, the Hercules movie. Fucking, like, there's so much. Like, there's a reason why The Rock is the highest paid male actor of all time now, which also makes me laugh because when you think about it, a lot of his movies I don't think actually make over budget when you sit there and you think about it, because a lot of the films, like movie Snitch, didn't make its budget. Hercules might have just made its budget. Like a lot of his more recent films, yeah, they're not like, I don't know, like it feels like they treat The Rock as if he is who's the actor? Will Smith. Like Will Smith at one point was making every movie that he even thought about making would make $100 million. Like he became the $100 million man, quite literally. Because if it was a franchise he was attached to for a long time, you knew that franchise was going to make money. But I don't know if really The Rock has that kind of. I think in an ensemble cast he has that ability. But if it's just him as that's the attraction, I don't know. What do you think?
I think the big problem there is the reason why their budget's so high is because they have to pay the fucking Rock.
Yeah.
And that's why their budget isn't as great.
All right, and also, I mean, it also stars, I think, arguably both Tom and I can say, one of our favorite actors of all time, Carl motherfucking Urban. Who, if you don't know who this man is, this guy's had a career. Like, this guy, he's been in stuff that I've even forgotten that he was a part of. That kind of bums me out. And I have some of them here, and I highlighted for us to talk about. But more importantly, is some of the stuff that I did not put on here. But we're gonna go over a bit of everything. So, Carl Urban has been in the best version of Dredd that I've ever seen, Judge Dredd. That slow-mo, beautiful masterpiece of a film that he was in. He was in the Lord of the Rings series as one of the sons of whatever. He was also in, obviously, The Boys. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Tom?
He's just one of the sons of whoever.
He's one of them humans who did whatever. They all look alike. He's a white dude
I
in that
remembered
Lord of
his
the Rings
name,
movie.
I would correct you.
Yeah. So he's in The Boys, playing Butch, like one of his best, I think, character moments because like it really lets him be comedic, it lets him be dumb and fun. It's great. But also, for those who don't know, way back when some of you probably weren't even born yet, he was in a series called, Princess Warrior. He
Warrior
got
Princess.
Yes, whatever. Princess Warrior Princess. Look, she kicks ass. That's all that matters. Lucy Lawless, god damn it. God damn it, she fucking amazing. And he was in that series, which I mean, and also because of that, he was a part of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. Like he got to be in one of my favorite live action hour long series when I was a kid. Because Kevin Sorbo and Lucy Lawless back then, they were my jam. Also, they had Bruce Campbell in that. So you're goddamn right I was excited for that, okay? That was
I
like
never watched those shows.
Oh my god,
that
dude.
was never my thing.
I love them so much. And like obviously I had one of the biggest crushes on Lucy Lawless. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Yeah. And again, like I didn't even realize that Bruce Campbell was in there until like when I was in my teens and I watched The Evil Dead 2 and I'm like, wait a minute, where have I seen this guy before? And then a rerun of Warrior Princess comes on. I'm like, oh my god, it's him! It's him! Yeah, anyways, doesn't matter. Also stars Rosamund Pike, who her biggest claim to fame, in my honest opinion, is probably her role in Gone Girl. Like that is, everyone knows fucking Gone Girl, all right? She was also.
I think that movie shot her up into like the higher tiers.
Yes, I mean,
of
where
the
she
actors.
did, yeah, and like it's something that Britain already knew about, but for like us Westerners, really kind of like put her on the spotlight because she was also in The World's End, the Edgar Wright film. Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah. And also she was in 007 Die Another Day, starring next to Pierce Brosnan and other actress that I'm not a big fan of, Halle Berry.
Oh
yeah,
that's right.
Where one of the tagline, one of the little jokes, it's because her name is like January Christmas Jones or something stupid like that, and then Pierce Brosnan goes like, "Oh, I guess Christmas doesn't come once a year," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
It's fucking James Bond. You gotta expect that.
It's cheese. Pierce Brosnan and James Bond, and so like
mm-hmm.
It's a mix of shitty like Sean Connery dialogue, but with a Pierce Brosnan delivery. But yeah, the trivia in here is kind of sparse. Like a lot of it is just eh. They didn't have the best trivia, but I do have a couple of things that I found kind of interesting. 3 actually. So the first one being the first person shooter sequence is took them surprisingly 14 days to shoot because it was mostly a mix of CGI and odd camera placement rotations of trying to match how a person would walk with a gun. Yeah. Anyways, then
are you saying you didn't like that part?
We're gonna get there.
Okay.
All right. During the end credits, when the cast members' names appear, I thought this was kind of fun. On the screen, the only ones that are not to be shot or blown up are the ones who survive in the movie. So every other character, like the actors, name pop up, they get shot, burn up, exploded, or whatever. It's because they're all dead. But Carla Urban and Rosamund Pike are the only ones I think that make it out. Because I can't remember if the guy who's always flirting on Rosamund Pike, I can't remember if he makes it or not. I think he does.
Oh no,
no,
he doesn't. No.
Oh, right, he gets pulled under the grate. That's right.
Yeah, not pulled under the grate, but got pulled through the grate. But anyways,
yeah,
we'll get to that.
Yeah. And then finally, the one that I put in here because it's mostly for Tom and I and whoever else enjoys this movie. Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright were asked to polish the dialogue, but they turned it down.
Not surprising.
Yeah,
they didn't want to be linked to this piece of shit.
Right. Oh, and Rosamund Pike had a chance to be in a Harry Potter movie, but she turned it down to be in this and in the film Pride and Prejudice. So
think she regrets that?
Honestly, yes and no, because Doom, Pride and Prejudice. You know what I mean? Like Pride and Prejudice got some good reviews, and it helped her get.
Pride and Prejudice, Harry Potter.
Look, I'm trying to find some positive for Rosamund Pike. All right, she's had it hard the past few years.
If she would have done Harry Potter, she would have got that money.
Yeah, right.
Like whatever she got from Doom or Pride and Prejudice, she would have
Combined,
made more.
Yeah. All right, but anyways, also as a quick little fun little tidbit, obviously this film was released in October 21st, 2005. A production budget of $65 million. Tom, do you know how much money this movie made? Remember, starring The Rock down the cast list.
I would think it would be higher than it is. I know what it is, actually.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the box office for this film it was of $58.7 million, which means this is one of the first flops for The Rock in his acting career, and unfortunately, it's in his like young starting acting career. You would think for most people, because a lot of these other guys, they didn't really recover from this, but because he's The Rock and is charismatic as fuck, he found a way to survive.
Well, who didn't bounce back after this movie?
I mean, for a while, Carl Urban and Rosamund Pike, when you think about it, like you didn't really see their names in big movie franchises after this.
True. I wonder when the soonest movie after this that The Rock had.
You know what? We can find out. Let's go right now. Let's figure it out.
Because you got Richard Brake, who's in like everything Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
You've got Ben Daniels, who plays Goat, the religious guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually in the new Jupiter Legacy show. Who else we got? Well, The Rock, obviously. He's in other shit.
All right, so let's see here. So again, this is where it gets rough, actually, for The Rock for a little bit. So from Doom, so this I'm gonna go from 2005. I'm just gonna go up. So he had Be Cool, then he had Doom, then he had Southland Tales. So those are two stinkers for The Rock. Technically, even Be Cool didn't do that well. So that's another one that didn't really like. That's like 3 stinkers in a row for the man. And then from there, he gets Gridiron Gang. So there you go. And then his next big movie after that is The Game Plan, Get Smart, Race to Witch Mountain, Planet 51. Wow, he's had The Tooth Fairy. Wow, okay, so to recover...
He's got a lot of bombs.
To recover from this film, really, what he ended up by doing, which is kind of smart, he started doing these kids films where they were low risk, low reward films, but he could get in there more and more and more. That is interesting.
And now he just slowly climbed that staircase up to where he is. And then
I think really, in all honesty, the one that put him back on the map, I was like, oh, you guys need to get this guy, is in 2010's The Other Guys. Because he plays alongside Samuel Jackson, and then he has that memorable scene, one of the only good scenes in that movie, where him and Sam Jackson jump off the fucking building and kill themselves.
You bite your fucking tongue, sir. That is an excellent fucking movie.
I refuse to bite my tongue for bad movies that star Will Ferrell. I refuse.
And Marky Mark. That's an excellent movie. You're wrong. I will defiantly say you're wrong there.
All right. There might be one of those we'll go back to see movies. This might be it. All right. But anyways... Let's get into the summary of the film. We've talked enough about it. This is going to be another one of those, it's not complicated. It's not really complicated at all.
No.
Basically, we start at the time of 2026. So 5 years from now, in the Nevada desert, we end up by finding a gate, an ancient alien portal of some sort, that we get working together. We find out it brings us to the planet Mars. Which I think it's 40 years from there. That's when we finally get the portal working or whatever. And then we have researchers working there, finding out to see what happened to the people, this advanced civilization, what caused them to become extinct and try to make a portal to the planet Earth. I have no clue why I'm talking like this. But anyways, you find out at the beginning of the film, there's a couple of doctors that are running for their lives. You don't see what's happening. You just know that some scary ass shit's going on. And one of the moments that makes me laugh every single goddamn time is there's a gate that's about to get closed because one scientist is waiting at the door to press the button to close it. The lady's running, like, doctor, whatever his name is, don't leave me. Don't leave me, doctor, doctor, doctor. She screams like doctor, his name, whatever this guy's name is, like fucking
Carmack.
Carmack.
Yeah.
Okay, screams Dr. Carmack. I don't know how I couldn't remember this. Screams the goddamn guy's name like 60 fucking times while she's running down the hall. And this dude trolls this woman real hard because she makes it. She could have been safe. He's like, you know, see ya, bitch. You said no to my date. As her arm reaches, closes the gate on it, and then cuts her damn arm off. And you're like, cold-blooded, dude. That's real cold-blooded. Turns around, does his message saying like, oh my god, the thing that we wanted to do, this is terrible. This is not what we thought was going to happen. We need help. We need that. Ah! Because the door opens, but you never see what's behind it. Instead, what I thought was going to be the Doom song playing in the background, like dum 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 dum, and like the Doom song would kick in, like the Gates of Hell, I think is what the name of the song is, or Doom's Gate. Like, all right, this is gonna be pretty cool. No, we get generic ass, don't even think about it music, and it just says Doom. All right, cool. Credits come back. We are introduced to be in the city of Nevada, or Las Vegas, I think, right? I think it's or near the Nevada testing grounds, whatever. Like basically, it's Area 51, but they don't want to call it Area 51. Where The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Sarge man plays Sarge, and him and his crew get recruited to go to the portal to go investigate something that's going on the planet Mars and recover whatever evidence they can and eliminate the threat. Make sure that the planet Mars is habitable.
And just so you know that The Rock is Sarge, he's got Semper Fi tattooed on his fucking back. That's how you know.
Yeah.
He's badass.
Let's also get this is weird to say. The Rock is fit in here, but he's not he's not Rock fit, if you know what I mean. He's not the Rock that we know now. If they would have that Rock, this Rock, and that role now, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck, dude. No monster wants to fight this man. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's only one man that can fight the Rock, and his name is Dave Bautista, because we saw what he could do in Army of the Dead. Like, that is it. That is the only other person that could, you know.
It's gonna be The Rock versus Zombie Batista in the next zombie movie.
Yeah, when it's the Doom Army of the Dead crossover.
Did you know that the Rock was offered the lead role in this movie, but he turned it down because he thought Sarge was a more interesting character?
Okay, so I get it. He's not wrong. Like, Carl Urban does a great job with what he has, but between the two, yeah, I would say Sarge is more dynamic than, you know, Milquetoast, Reaper. Okay, which again, Tom, you have the list of names. Can you please go through the list of names of all the Hell fighters again, just so we could talk about that real quick?
We got Reaper, we got Goat, we have Portman, the Kid, Sarge, Duke, and Destroyer.
Okay, so
I believe that's all of them.
With that, okay, all of them have a name that is so generically 90s bad, trying to make these people sound like badasses or video game characters. But then you have Portman. Portman, if I'm not mistaken, is the pervy asshole, right? Yeah. Who, this guy is fucking typecasted to the nth degree. Because
I feel like he likes playing these roles, though.
I think he doesn't have a choice. I think he made a deal in Hollywood that if people don't know who we're talking about, he's the scrawny ass gentleman in this film who, again, if you look at everyone else, they look kind of fit and buff. You got this weak, blonde-haired, slick-back, greasy motherfucker who always is the pervert in every film. One of the biggest ones that he's a pervert in is in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I believe, where he describes like skull fucking something, but he goes into like a disgusting amount of details about it. He's played snarky idiot asshole greaseball guy all the fucking time. Like, this man does not know, and other that is as far as his acting chops go, which I refuse to believe. Or this is what Hollywood wants him to be at all times. I just feel bad for this.
He Did he do some like Marvel movie or something? I feel like he was. I gotta look it up now.
Oh, go for it, go for it. But anyways, as this happens, okay, Sarge is going down to go tell his troops who are now getting ready for leave because, and it's been far too long, and you get to the stereotypical, like the poor man just wants to, and this is something that you'll never hear in a normal movie now, or unless you're trying to portray them as a disgusting slob. Unlike this film, where it was more like a disgusting slob that's funny, where Portman says, "I'm going to lock myself up in a Taiwanese hotel or a brothel or whatever, and have me a couple of young Thai boys," and I'm like, "Oh, no, please don't." You have the yeah, what's up?
He played the Night King in Game of Thrones.
Oh, was he a gross slob there too?
I mean, if he'd not saying anything and just looking creepy, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
I would say he's a good actor, though. He was in Peaky Blinders. He was in Supernatural, Sisters, Brothers. There's a bunch of other things he's in.
Oh yeah, again, the man can act. It's just he's always playing the same goddamn role.
Yeah.
Like, it is unfortunate. All right, anyways, as we're continuing on, people are getting together, trying to figure out what's going on. Sarge comes by, tells him, "Hey guys, sorry, gotta go down. We gotta go to Mars." They all get mad, whatever. But he tells Reaper, played by Carl Urban, "No, you gotta go. You get to stay back. Don't worry about it. Take the leave." He's like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And he tells him, "Well, it's because it's the Mars research base where Rosamund Pike's at." Which Rosamund Pike character is named Tom?
Sam Grimm.
Sam Grimm. Yeah, Sam Grimm. Sam Grimm. And this is where you start finding out, which, by the way, that further on the road, you're like, "Oh wow, there's some history between these two. Are these like old lovers because the way that they're acting? Is it like, something, like a past history that's like that?" No, you find out they're brother and sister. It's a really weird setup for it. I don't know why they did it the way that they did, but they did. Whatever. But it's like, oh, surely there's a good chance you're not going to see her because it's Mars. What are the chances? It's a small ass colony. Of course, you're going to see them. Like, it's shut the fuck up. But nonetheless, they get to this. The Hell Jumpers get to this location where, to me, seems like it's way too advanced because it's like a steel thing that comes out of the ground where where I'm like, oh, this must be the portal. Like, this is what this ancient technology is. No, it's not at all. It's just an elevator that goes down to, again, when I think of ancient civilization and like the portal to Mars, it is not what I thought it was going to be. I was thinking, again, because I'm in Doom mode, of a giant ass just construct of like stone with looks like it's like has blood writing on it and like it's cryptid and creepy and stuff.
That's a hell gate.
It is.
You're talking about a hell gate.
Yes, because Doom would have that, right? Because this
would
Doom.
Also have stuff from fucking hell in it, but this is not what we get.
No. Spoiler alert, there are no demons from hell. There is no portal to hell. There is no gate. There is none of that. Okay? I was gonna try to lie to you guys, but I just can't. It's not in me to lie to you that much. It's the portal to Mars is literally a goddamn bubble. It's just water floating in the air that you touch or whatever it is, and it sucks you up and you get transported over there. Cool.
I think they call it a wormhole in the movie.
Yes. Which let's not get fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson on this, okay? Because if he hears that word in this film, he's gonna have some words, okay? Doesn't matter. They fucking jump in there. They all puke because that's the joke, and they all get brought up. And there's a thing that happens where they all sync up and they all point guns at each other because that's how they're gonna make sure the cameras work or something. Which I don't understand why that's what does. Whatever.
No, like, yeah, let's point guns at each other, like right at each other's heads to sync them up.
Yeah, because that's that's the safe thing to do, right?
Yeah. This is what Marines do. We just point guns at each other for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Oh my god. This film is fantastically bad. They go through. They meet up with Rosamund Pike because she's there, and she's apparently their liaison to go to the fucking the area on the colony that's all fucked up. I guess technically Sarge knew about this, but didn't really talk about it. There's a moment that they get into, all right, before they open this door that's been sealed off, where they need to figure out if the air is breathable, if it's okay, and all that stuff. And instead of fucking like having some kind of sensor on the other side, they make 2 of their soldiers step in with these little wands to check the conditions of the fucking room. It's like, okay, it doesn't matter at this point, right? You just sent 2 of your guys in there to check how safe it is by opening the safety, like the sealed locks, for them to die. Like, if it was bad, they would have died. Like, they would have started choking or something. Whatever, movie. You know what? Let's go. You could be one of those movies. Let's fucking go, Tom.
It's just one of those movies. You need to accept it.
Yeah. And of course, because they need to have the character from Predator in here, I believe it's Destroyer. He has in a tight quarter, sealed facility so that the pressure doesn't unlock and kill everyone, right? If they make a hole through the walls or whatever. They have a dude with a giant ass Gatling machine gun, okay? Who's basically the character from Predator, who is a giant black man, just like in this film, with a big ass Gatling gun ready to blast everything apart. It is clear that they are trying to make this to be Predator, the first film. It ain't this, Chief. All right, this ain't that. That is you're trying way too hard, and it hurts. Nonetheless, the team gets in. They try to find out what is happening. When they finally get to the location where the doctor is, they find out they got some rage monkeys in here or something. They got some dogs, and one of them got bit. And you also get the facility. We find out that they're experimenting on something that is beyond what they were agreed upon. It is just not working. They do They do it by doing something that I actually kind of like, where they mark the walls of the doors of areas that they've already checked. It's actually kind of a nice touch that you don't really see ever again. It's kind of like this nice thing, like, oh yeah, okay, cool. They're marking areas that they've already checked, so people don't have to like accidentally cross over each other. Because like that's kind of smart. I like that. But you never see it again. They never reference this ever again. It didn't matter.
Just showing that they're pros,
right? Yeah, that's exactly it. The Grimm siblings. All right, Reaper and Samantha are together talking about like, oh, I can't believe you're back in here, because the backstory, by finding out, is that their parents were working on the early times Mars, and something went horribly wrong. They never really explain what happens. I think there might have been like a collapse or something in one of the research mines, and it kills their parents, and that has left Carl Urban Grimm, because did they ever give him his first name in this?
Yeah, John
Grimm.
I think Sam Grimm's the only one who ever calls him that, and I think that's the only time you ever hear it.
Yeah.
And that's why his last name's Reaper, because it's Grim Reaper.
Right. Ooh, how inventive.
Ooh.
Right. But yeah, that's why fucking Reaper doesn't like this place. He absolutely hates it and doesn't understand why Sam's here. And they're trying to like they have this tumultuous relationship because of it. Basically, all this is happening just for a couple of things, a couple of setups. You get introduced to the BFG gun early on, but Sarge can't touch it because it's behind a locked door. And you finally get a hold of these humans, or these siblings, these creatures, in a little exhibit window thing, where it tries to show off where like, oh, these people were civilized and they cared for each other and da-da-da-da-da. And now Grimm's like, or Reaper's like, well, why the fuck are you here? Da-da-da. She's like, you all know why? This is why. Those people there, do you know what's special about them? Come check this out, because I know you're a smart guy. You're not just a dumb fucking soldier. Which, again, never plays out ever again throughout the entire movie that she mentions this. It is just more unnecessary character development for a dude that it doesn't do anything for him. It legit, nothing positive, nothing. He never uses his brains or his smarts except for this one part. But they just didn't want him to be a bland milquetoast character. But guess what? Fucking failed. Sam's like, come check this out. Look at this person's chromosomes. What do you see? 24, but that's not possible. The human bodies only have 23. Well, these people found a way. How is that possible, Sam? I don't know, John. Anyways,
that's not what Dad taught us. What parents teaching their kids about fucking chromosomes on Mars?
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah. Again, the writing in here is barely there. It doesn't matter. you find out that yes, it looks like these humans here found a way to actually unlock the 24th chromosome in the human body, which could, in theory, heighten your senses, light speed regeneration of wounds, cognitive abilities that no one can comprehend because it unlocks the last like 5%, 10% of the brain that we still don't know anything about, all that jazz, right? That these are all just theories and hypothesizes. And the dude's like, yeah, well, if you look at this bitch, she's trying to protect her kid. Who this is not just someone who died of natural causes. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so if this person got mauled to death, right, as we can assume, there's no way she'd be in that position, be like, ah, while holding the baby. It's the shit natural. No, that's just no.
Maybe it was like an environmental disaster that killed her.
But they never explain it, right? Because the only thing we get in this film is just infected people through dick tongues. Like that's what happens.
Dildo tongues.
Yeah, it's fucking a bunch of like mobile dildo tongues being launched out of people's mouths. That's what it is. But nonetheless, they end up by finding Carmack, who's looking all fucking, all kinds of crazy, all kinds of like whatever, holding on to a human hand. When they try to calm them down, all he does is rips his ear off. They're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Basically, all that happens, all right, is the dude's infected. But this is the only time in the film where the infection takes, again, a century to fucking work. Even though, just like in Army of the Dead, the infection takes about how long? Tom, do you remember from Army of the Dead how long that takes?
Oh, it was so long ago. 60 seconds, I believe it was.
And it's kind of safe to assume that's about the same thing for here, all right? And again,
you would think, yeah.
Yeah, you would think. And again, to kind of continue with the idea of, poor character development, you find out that one of the reasons why God is so religious, or to show that he is religious, as he says the word, God damn it. And what does he do? He has to punish himself because he said a bad word. And he just carves a cross on his body. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jesus would consider that more of an offense if you were to carve like crosses on your body to harm yourself. I'm pretty sure he didn't want that to happen. Whatever, fucking whatever.
That's a thing in religion.
Yeah, I know. It's
so.
I know it's true, but it
depends on which god he's praying to, I guess.
Right. Yeah, we don't know in this film. But to continue to prove the perviness of someone, fucking pervy dude. Portman. Thank you, Portman. I don't know if this is ever in the normal version, but it's in the unrated one at least. They end up by fighting a naked chick who's curving into her arm, who's I don't really understand what this is all about. She writes stuff on the wall.
She was the woman that put her hand in the elevator door that Carmack closed.
Yes, I believe so. And it doesn't explain why she's naked. Doesn't explain anything. It's just she's butt ass naked. Again, I don't think this is what happens in the unrated version, but in the rated version, but in the unrated, you see that, and that's the only really thing that I can think about why this film, the one that I watched, was unrated. I don't know. Did you watch the unrated version as well, Tom?
No, but I did see I did watch the unrated version, but I found a list, and that was one of the scenes that was in the unrated version and not the theatrical cuts.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
But she was getting ready to transform, so she had to take her clothes off.
Yeah.
What other demons in the movie do you see wearing clothes?
True, but do you know what I believe here? Do you know what my hypothesis is on this, Tom? Is that these things fucking transform and their clothes get ripped off because they get much, much bigger and more grotesque. Not in the sense where they're like, oh, I'm going to change.
She probably folded them up and put them off to the side for the next person. She's just being courteous.
Right. For fuck's sakes, man. Yeah, anyways, they try to further on go find out if there's any more survivors. They keep going further and further and further. They finally reach one dude. The crew, the Helldroppers, go inside of a sewer system because I think they may have seen something there. And this is finally your first glimpse at what they think the demons should look like in this. But again, because they're not demons, they're just monsters, affected people. And like this is 40 minutes into the film, okay? And this film is only an hour and like 50. That's like 10 minutes worth of credits, so it's about an hour and 40. Okay, we'll say. And it's 40 minutes in, we finally get introduced to the first creature of the film. Finally. And you don't even get a good look at it because it's shaded in dark blue shadows the entire fucking time. Anyways, this motherfucker goes and it infects Goat by attacking him and leaving a dildo in his neck. Really, it's very sexual. It's very weird. I don't understand what is happening.
I want to see a remake of this with just dildos. Or Photoshop dildos on for every one of the tongues.
God. Fucking they find Goat, they bring him up upstairs because he's dying, and Reaper just can't let it happen. No, we gotta bring him back. No, what's happened? No, Biddy, no. Alright, Goat's dead. Alright. And they finally they do end up by capturing or killing anyways the thing that attacked Goat, and they try to do some surgeries on it. Anyways, all this is just to lead to the point where Reaper actually ends up by coming back to life, and he's infected, but he has enough presence in mind to do the cross on his body and then ram his head into a window and kill himself that way. I don't understand. And if I'm not mistaken, why did this guy die from being, get the tongue in him, but Carmack didn't? And Carmack is slowly transforming versus Goat, who transforms right away. Like, his face is already fucked up. He's all deformed. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're not.
Like, the movie continues, and like literally, there's so much of this film where I'm like, okay, cool. There's another biggie guy, and I'm pretty sure at this point it's the new baddie that you end up by seeing. I believe that it's actually, I think it's Carmack at this point, but I can't remember because Carmack escapes when Goat is bashing his head against the wall because you don't see him again. So I think this new baddie that you end up by seeing that finds Destroyer is supposed to be Carmack. But fully transformed.
No.
It's different?
No, that's not Carmack. Carmack comes back later.
Okay.
That's the this is gonna delve into more plot down the road.
That does matter.
It's the convict that was infected with the
Oh, right.
Like the whole plot to the
Yes. Well, yeah, when they finally start doing it. Yeah, okay, yes. So this is just another random monster dude who ends up having, in my honest opinion, kind of a pretty decent fight with Destroyer. Like, this fight's actually not that bad to look at.
I believe he's supposed to be at Hell Knight. I believe.
Yeah, their interpretation of it, right?
Yeah, like the other ones are supposed to be imps.
Yeah,
like they kind of model them around. It's based around Doom 3. This was a year after Doom 3 came out.
Yeah.
So they kind of used all the character models from Doom 3. And even if you had the unrated version, you got tips and tricks in the DVD commentary on how to play Doom 3.
Oh my god, this is terrible, dude. That's terrible.
Multi-level marketing right there.
Right. That's like it's just like Mortal Kombat, right? When fucking Liu Kang fights Scorpion in the one area, and you have like on the walls there's codes for MK3 to unlock stuff. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Actually, there's a few Easter eggs in this movie too, where there's a lot of that.
Okay, all right.
When like the nano wall, when you're actually, that has nothing to do with Doom, but when she's going through the nano wall into her lab, when she's pressing the buttons on the console, they're the same sounds as the ones that they would talk to the aliens in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, nice.
Like there's a bunch of little Easter eggs in here.
So you mean like the beep beep boop, like it's the literal that's the keyboard song they play for the aliens?
That's right.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
When the Rock finds the BFG, it says IDKFA, I think it was, and that's one of the cheat codes for the original Doom that gets you all keys, all life, God mode, or whatever.
I don't fucking know. IDFK, that's the IDFK. That's pretty much what it is, right? I don't fucking know. That's kind of funny. Also, the BFG in this game isn't called the big fucking gun. It is like the Bioforce gun or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. But anyways, this knight, this hell, pretty much we'll call him the Hell Knight. That's fair enough for interpretation of it. Pushes Destroyer down the pit that they found earlier, which was supposed to be like an observation or a detention pit. And like I said, these two actually kind of have a fun fight. Like it's very. I would have seen this in a '90s film before I would have seen this in a 2000s film. It's close enough. But like he's fucking like the walls are electrified. Fucking destroys, like, I don't know how this makes sense, but there's a monitor that's attached to a cable. He's whipping it around and stuff, and he's bashing the head with it. Fucking, they're throwing each other around. Like, it's like, it's a gnarly fight. It's not that bad. Fucking, it ends up by being, this part makes me laugh, where Destroyer does like this crazy flip that for a man his size would not be able to do. Grabs a pole and like stabs it into the Hell Knight, into the electrified wall, and he's holding a metal beam, okay? And he's supporting on the other side of the wall to try to escape. And I'm like, if you're holding onto that, let's talk about how electricity works for a second here, right? I'm not Bill Nye. I'm not no science guy. But even I know that if you're holding on to something that is a conductor for electricity, and you yourself, the human body, is also a conductor for electricity. If you're holding on to that and there's electricity running through it, you are going to get electrified. No.
Yeah.
Not in this film.
I think it might be like low voltage because you see the Hell Knight grab Destroyer and pin him against the wall for a couple of seconds. And you see him screaming, but he still like has the power to grab a knife and stab the Hell Knight with it.
Yeah,
so
it's so weird, right? Like it's
I don't
get it. Yeah, it's weird. But it's at this point where Portman's now lying to I think his kid he's lying to, who's saying, I gotta go take a shit. But really what he's doing is he's recording a conversation or sending a message over to like, you know, Hell Jumpers HQ pretty much, and asking for backup because shit's gone down, and he's not really trusting Sarge's charge, not like his rule. And as he's doing that, he's starting to hear noises because, like, at this point, I won't lie, I can see why Sarge is considered more of an interesting character because he does start as I'm here for my boys, I'm here to defend my people, like we have a mission, we're gonna stick to the mission. And as people are slowly dying, Sarge, and The Rock does a pretty good job with this, is becoming more and more unhinged, and he's caring more about just completing the mission and ignoring the value of human life and stuff, and he's not becoming as more of a, just as a boss, you know what I mean? More of a, just, I'm here to do a mission, that's it. And you see more and more of that in the character, and I really like that. I really, really do. But anyways, it's at this point where Sarge ends up discovering Destroyer's body. He somehow gets it out of the hole. I don't know how, because the walls are electrified, but he finds a way.
Chain falls hanging from the ceiling. They just hoisted his body out.
Yeah. And Portman, well, like I said, he was on the shitter. Here's a noise. Drops his ammo. He goes to go grab it. Instead of like leaving the fucking stall to grab it, he's sneaking underneath. Somehow that's gonna be better for him. And it is at this point that we should mention that he's being an asshole to the dude who doesn't have legs anymore. Because
Pinky.
Yeah, Pinky. Yeah, Pinky. That's right. And he literally gets attacked by the monster at this point. And Pinky knows it because of the headset comm system. But he decides not to say anything to him at all. He instead just lets him die, which I'm like, that's pretty fucked up, man. Like Pinky
and Sarge even asked if he's got eyes on Portman. He's like, nope, I don't see fuck all.
Yeah,
just the guy getting smashed all over the place.
Like that's dark, Pinky. like because like the camera, like the it's broadcasting, like the little comm system that he has, it's broadcasting, and he's seeing what happens, and he just laughs at it. I'm like, that's really fucked up, dude. Whatever.
That kind of comes into play later on in the movie as well.
Yes,
because the infection only latches to people with like that are evil at their core.
Yes. Yeah. So it explains why like the people who are prone to rage or like homicidal maniacs. It is also, again, there's so much stuff that doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna bring it up real quick. Like, fucking The Rock gets the BFG gun because he finds the hand the Carmack was holding onto to unlock the door where the BFG gun was there. That's pretty much all that happens there. All right.
Yeah.
Portman gets slapped around a bunch on the fucking the stalls, and somehow that kills him. But I think what really kills him is the fact that the Sarge shot a BFG gun. All right, it scared off the monster, and it roasted Portman's body. That's how I think Portman dies right there.
I actually on my second viewing this morning, I noticed that because you see his body smoking when they find him afterwards. So you're absolutely right. I don't think he died from the fucking Hell Knight. The Rock's roasted his ass.
Right? And he's like, I never liked Portman anyways. He disobeyed orders, which in all honesty kind of builds more and more into the character of the Sarge is losing it, and Portman was, being kind of an insurrected prick, not listening to his orders, and so it kind of does make sense that maybe he did kill Portman. Fine, you know what?
I can see it.
A notch towards the movie for character development in the twisted way. But it's also while all this shit's going down, Carmack finally reveals himself again as a twisted fucking monster. Kind of looks more like the imp, like you said, and tries to attack Duke and Samantha. But the glitching out nano wall traps the thing inside of it, and they realize that imp is actually Carmack, and they need to figure out what the fuck's going on. Rock comes in and be like, "Why aren't you telling me? This is all just fucked up. I want to know what's happening. Tell me now."
And who the fuck's blood is on that wall?
Yeah. And then you find out that, they pretty much quick synopsis. This body is human. They believe that these things are being infected. Goat was transforming into one. He killed himself. Duke sees Destroyer's body. This throwaway line at one point, you find out that Destroyer, Duke were the ones who are like helping each other out. They've been helping each other out for years, so they're like brothers. Not real brothers, but they're like brothers. But now Duke's super sad because Destroyer's dead. The mission is now kind of turned all upside down. Rock is now literally losing his mind and saying that the mission is now turned to the worst. They're leaving the facility as fast as they can, get all the humans out, and they're going to eliminate all threats. Samantha's like, no, but there's a chance that we can maybe save Carmack. He's like, Carmack's dead. Puts the gun inside the imp's Carmack's head and just pulls the trigger and kills him. It's again, like, it's a couple of scenes earlier that you've seen this whole transformation now where the Rock's losing it. Like, that's it. Sarge is gone. He doesn't care about anything. Yeah. He just wants to retrieve the data, which Samantha and I think John find out a little bit later down the road, that the data is actually the experimentations that they were doing on the prisoner, which when they pulled out the C24 serum out of these advanced humans. They find out that there's two side effects. All right, one, it can make you to a superhuman, or B, it'll turn into one of these fucking freaks. And unfortunately, when they tried it on the prisoner, it turned him to a freak, which turned him into the giant hellnet that we see before us.
You'd think in all of the times of or experimental science, why would you give your fucking experimental superhuman serum to the most jacked guy that you have?
Right.
That prisoner was fucking huge before the serum.
Right. It's what the Rock's going to become, in the next few years. Oh my God, the Rock took the serum. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, it is at this point, where you're like, okay, why not? Like, I understand this guy is on death's door and stuff. Like, he's a prisoner who's about to get executed, so we're just gonna do this to him anyways. But yeah, maybe grab the one who's just like, oh, I'm on death row because I didn't file my taxes for 10 years. Like, that dude's got to go. Like, that's it.
I feel real bad for the guy who's on death row for not doing his taxes for 5 years.
Go look, with the IRS, yeah, that'll happen. But after they see all the video evidence of what's happening, John wants to destroy the video evidence and then all this the stuff here because it shouldn't be replicated, because if it goes to Earth, there's a good chance that it'll fucking spread. It could be an issue, right? Rock's like, no, we were sent on a mission to do this. It was to retrieve the people and all evidence about what happened here. We have what we need. We're getting the fuck out now. John's like, but we shouldn't. He's like, too bad. That's what we're doing. All right, that's the mission now.
Oh, the Rock's saying we got to kill everybody.
Yeah. Now not yet. We're not there yet, right? I'm pretty sure they're getting closer to it. No, you're right. No, you are right. This is at the point where they're like, if you see any survivors, we kill them. It's as simple as that. And John doesn't want to do it, but he's gonna stay back with Samantha to make sure that she doesn't get attacked. Rock and the other ones are gonna find all the survivors and kill them. It's at this time that Samantha finds out, the serum may not actually kill everyone, and this creature is not seeking out everyone, just the ones with the potential of rage or like homicidal tendency. That is what's happening there. So it's the main goal now has become, we need to seal off the portal because this thing cannot cross over. Get all other pedestrians out of here. They all have to fucking go back to Earth. Unfortunately, the Hell Knight busts open the door somehow, and instead of Pinky destroying the fucking portal like they asked him to, he takes it and leaves. Well, when he does that, brings the Hell Knight with him, and it starts wreaking havoc on Earth and the Nevada fucking area. Now the Rock's like, we got a new mission. We gotta kill everybody. And John's trying to tell the Rock and everyone else not to do that, but they're going to. It's just that's he's lost it. That is it. He wants to have some kind of control. What's up?
He's got the best line in this scene too. Kill them all.
Yeah.
Let God sort them out.
Right? Yeah. And it's finally after these points where like all these people that are getting saved or potentially not, they could be saved. They're ignoring it. The kid's now losing faith in the Rock. So now it's turned into Duke is on Rock's is no longer on Rock's side. He's with John. The kid is still technically kind of with, you know what I mean? But he's still barely with the Rock. John asks Duke to take care of Samantha, and Duke finds a bunch of people hiding inside of a storage space, all untouched. All right, they are good to go. They're clean. There shouldn't be any worries. But starting to look a little iffy, and Duke's like, I don't know if I want to bring this up or not. They end up by having this fun little shoot 'em up scene where they kill a bunch of them. They block off the wall, whatever, everything's fine. You then get to the point where Duke reports over to Sarge, telling him, "Hey, look, I found a storage space filled with these people."
That's the kid.
Yeah, the kid. Sorry, the kid. That's right. Sorry, excuse me, the kid. The kid finds him. He's like, I found a storage space full of these people, and like none of them's been infected. None of them's got touched. They were hiding behind. Maybe it was a nanowall. I don't know. I think it was a nanowall, right?
I think just another area.
Whatever, just another compound. Area. Yeah, whatever it is. They're hiding there, and the creature hasn't touched them. And then Rock's like, well, what did you do with them? He's like, well, I didn't do anything with them. What do you mean? We eliminate all the threats, all possibilities, da-da-da-da-da. And then the John and Sam, and they're all like, no, like if they're fine, like we could save them. It's totally fine. The creature's not after them. And it just keeps pushing that. And finally, the kid's like, you're wrong. Sarge's like, we can't do this. This is not what needs to be done. And instead of like shooting this man in the head or in the heart or whatever, fucking Sarge like shoots him in the throat. Like, oh my god. So he just shoots the kid right in the throat, falls down, and like John and then fucking Sam are trying to save him and shit and trying to protect him, whatever. Obviously he dies. And I think this is the reason why they picked this actor to be in this role. It's just for this last part, because he just looks like a dying deer. Like you didn't get the kill shot right, so it's struggling and suffering on the floor, and it's like and you're supposed to really feel bad. Like that's the only reason why this guy's in this movie. Because he does a hell of a job at this point here.
He does.
And it's at this point now where like that's it, man. They're not trusting each other anymore. This is over. They're done with. This is when I get a little bit off. I can't remember. How does the infected start pushing everyone real hard? How does John get hurt?
John, so they're in the main lobby where Pinky is.
Yeah.
And this is where Pinky rolls up after the kid gets shot.
Yeah.
Pinky says, "Oh, I'm not a soldier. What do you want me to do? I'm not here to defend. You guys are supposed to be here to help me." And then the Hell Knight grabs Pinky by the wheelchair.
Fuck's sakes.
Swings him around, or no, grabs him by the head and swings him and smokes Carl Urban with the wheelchair, I think. Smashes him in the head, and I think he gets shot by a ricochet, and I think that's how he gets really hurt.
Got it. Okay. All right. So this at this point, they're all trying to run away. They're all trying to like fucking like still kind of working together now because they have to because the Hell Knight's there. But unfortunately, it's at this point where like Duke gets pulled through the grates, like Tom said. What it was like literally like Swiss cheese. You know what I mean? Like you know in Play-Doh, you have that Play-Doh set when you make a guy's hair and you push it down and the hair springs out everywhere. Well, it's like that, but in reverse. Instead of pushing it down, you pull Duke through and you get string Duke. It's fucking disgusting.
Very graphic.
Yeah.
Very graphic.
So he's gone, and it's also around this time where fucking the Rock gets like swept by his legs, and he's about to get pulled away, and he has this line where it's like, "I'm not supposed to die," and he gets like pulled away. So weird. So fucking weird. I love it.
It's almost like the Rock himself was surprised at that part of the script. Wait a sec, I wasn't supposed to die.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh my god, I love it. It's like, wait, no, I didn't read this far. No. But fucking Sam and John get locked into a room, and then you find out that actually this whole time, Sam has had the serum in her hand. She's been protecting it because she wanted to see, just for the research of it, I guess, because she is a scientist, so it does make sense. But she's like, look, I'm going to use this on you. And John's like, but no, I'm dying. Like, yeah, but it'll save you. Don't worry. But no, but sis, I might turn into one of those things. Bro, don't worry about it. I believe you're a good human. He's like, but I've done some bad things. But it's not the bad things that determine who you are. It's who you are on the inside. It's like, okay, whatever.
That was almost like perfect. You nailed that.
I don't know why. I have no clue why I fucking remember that scene, but I do. And it fucking... She injects him with it. He like passes out. He wakes up with his eyes looking kind of fucked up. And this is when you finally get introduced. Oh, The Rock's not Doom Guy. John's Doom Guy. And you get into this world of a literal first-person shooter aspect. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, it took them fucking. It took them like 14 days to record, to do this stuff, because there's a lot of nonsense in here, and it is batshit crazy. The sequence that we're about to see. But you know what's even crazier is a word from our sponsor. Hey, guess what? I didn't forget. I'm gonna remember this shit. This episode of SNNATM, SNN the movie, is brought to you by Still Us. More specifically, patreon.com/SelectStartNetwork, where you go ahead and sign up if you want to support us monetarily. It is greatly appreciated. You can start as low as $1.20 mark, where you just become an official supporter. You get access to the Discord and have fun with the schmucks there. You can move on up as high if you want to $11.50 or $15.50 if you're here in Canada, where you can go ahead and enjoy watching this live, like Will is, like Lep is, even why Tom did it as well, because he's a maniac and I love him for it. Where you can go ahead and watch this at the $15.50, $11.50 mark. Also, at that mark, you get exclusive voting polls to what movie we're going to watch next. You get to talk to us, obviously, on the forums or on Discord. Also, get a 10% discount on the merch store. There's more perks above if you want to go ahead and support, but if you cannot, we totally understand. You can go ahead and just go on over twitch.tv/SSNplays and follow us there, or subscribe with your free Twitch Prime subscription. Go on over to youtube.com/liveselectstart and follow us, subscribe to us, share our content. That's how we really that's how we get where we are today, is with the love and support from you schmucks. So thank you so much. And with that, one last plug, patreon.com/SelectStartNetwork. Go ahead and check us out. Now right before did this, which is at 1 hour and 10 already. I did it. Now on with the plot. All right. Carl Urban wakes up. He's Butch. He's in a totally different world of the boys now. He gets up, and motherfucker is now first person view. Like I mentioned, shit gets wild, Tom. He picks up a gun, and this is, I think, what this film was probably best known for. I don't know if it should have been, but it is. What are your thoughts on what's about to happen here?
I mean, when I first saw it, I fucking loved it.
Really?
It was good. Like they had a hard time filming this, I believe.
Yes.
They didn't use the gun in a lot of it because it took up most of the fucking screen. So that's why you only see it shot a few times. And most of it was just running around, but
so it is.
I liked it.
So it is the idea when you see this, right? One of the hardest shots I think they've done in the film was when Carl Urban looks himself in the mirror, obviously, because it's the way that they did this is basically it's a technology that has been far progressed now. And pretty much what it is, it's a gimbal set that's attached to the cast member, pretty much. But normally when you have that gimbal attachment set, it's two ways of doing it, right? You'd have one where the camera's actually turned around facing the actor. So you have when sometimes you have those runaround scenes where people are panicking and the camera's in their face. You're like, oh my god, what's happening? It's like, wow, this does make sense. It's not a cameraman holding the camera in front of you. It's literally it's a whole contraption that's facing towards you to record that your reaction. This is pretty much the opposite of that, where it's a dude holding onto a rig set, moving around, trying to their best to kind of match where the human head would be for these perspectives. And yeah, the gun in most parts is actually CGI'd in because the hands can't go over the camera. You actually have to like CGI the gun coming in or the hands holding the gun and stuff. So I could see why this was a hard thing to do. One of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of this is because I don't know if you noticed this, but when the guy's moving around, when you walk in real life, your head bobs, right? Yeah. There's a bit of a shake to when you do things. This camera is, because it's on a gimbal, because it's on a secure rig set, it doesn't shake, it doesn't shudder, or nothing. It's a smooth ride. So for me, it takes me out of the experience because that's not a human head now. That's a camera.
It brings me back to the arcade shooter games where you just have the gun,
House of the Dead, and
stuff. That's what it looked like. You kind of flowing through those games, so they kind of had a little bit of
100%, dude. It feels like a rail shooter. You're absolutely right. Yeah. The scene is exactly what it is, and there's one moment in this whole thing that makes me laugh. Okay, it's when one of the imps turns around and goes booga 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 to fucking Carl Urban, and then Carl Urban just starts shooting. The guy's like, oh shit. And he just runs around and runs away. And Carl Urban just shoots the shit out of his back. Oh my god, dude.
I feel like that's how any new Doom movie should be made. Any demon that shows up in front of the Slayer, he better be fucking running, because that's how Doom should be.
Right? And then you get this moment where it's kind of like a Hell Knight that's fighting with a chainsaw with Carl Urban and stuff. They have a little go back and forth. They get pushed down to the floor. There's some fighting, some explosions. It's nothing too crazy. The next real big memorable scene in all this, it's going to be when Pinky shows back up, but he's like fully like transformed. Like, these are the creatures, these are the designs. Because if I'm not mistaken, this design here for Pinky, it literally comes straight from Doom 3.
Yeah, like, absolutely. It's the exact same character model.
Yeah. And like, these are the monsters I think everyone was expecting to see inside of this movie. But instead, we get like these like just mutated people that are not demons from hell. That's pretty much what happens here. During this whole time, you find out that the doors have gotten a safety power lock system that have been locked up, that's been closed off for an hour. And after the hour's done, the doors are going to open and they get to escape. Well, when finally Carl Urban meets up with The Rock and Sam, now Sam's fine, she's just knocked out, meets up with The Rock. Rock is unfortunately been infected, and he says that he's dealt with the problem with the people in the storage locker. Very dark, I'm actually happy they didn't show that scene, because that would have been pretty gruesome. But you get the idea that all the innocents are dead. All that's left.
Apparently, there were scenes cut out of this movie because they were too intense and too graphic.
That's insane.
Even for the unrated version.
So I'm kind of curious as to what those were, but I'm also at the same time I'm kind of happy that I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's The Rock and Carl Urban. They talk to each other. They're like, "Oh, cool, the doors got open. We get to escape." The Rock's just trying to play it off. Be like, "Please don't look at my hickey. Don't look at my hickey." And he's like, "Did you get touched by a dildo?" "No, bro. I'm dildo free, bro. I'm dildo free." Liar.
Just got a big mushroom bruise on his neck.
So
dildo slap.
So this is not like this is the moment that everyone's been waiting for. It's The Rock versus Carl Urban. They're gonna end up by fighting, and they start doing with their guns. Guns stop. It's gonna turn to like a fist fight, and it's at this point where I don't know if The Rock just didn't want to have prosthetics on or what. But when he finally transforms, he just kind of gets some veins in his face. He gets maybe little sharp teeth and like some contact lenses. That's his full transformation.
I don't think that's his full transformation.
No. That's just what we get teased to.
That's all we get to see.
Yeah. The fist fight continues into a blue room now. Pretty much went from an orange room or a yellow room. Now we're in a blue room, and the fight kind of intensifies. And there's a cool moment where The Rock wraps like just a piece of like railing around his arm and hand to go like to kind of just like make it like some knuckle fighting, and it's pretty cool. Like it's this part where it's kind of it's very it's pretty original. I'll give him that much. It's a fun little fight scene, and Carl Urban's getting his ass kicked the whole fucking time at this point. And as he's put up against the wall, Carl Urban takes the piping and straightens it out, and or it gets straightened out at some point. And I'm pretty sure Carl Urban's one who does it. And his hand gets stabbed into the railing wire, and he just fucking swings the rock around as the portal opens on his hand. Okay, in his hand, he's just whipping it around left and right, and the rock finally starts getting sucked up by the portal. And to let go, instead of just pulling it out, Carl Urban literally lets this piping thing cut his hand in half. It opens up in the halfway mark.
I think he even hits his arm down.
Yes.
So that it breaks.
Yes. It's fucking gross, and it's awesome. I love that scene. He then looks at his hand afterwards, immediately healed. That's the idea of it, right? That's the whole thing with the serum. He grabs a grenade, throws it into the portal, boom, kills the rock. The movie literally ends with a sun beaming down on Sam and Carl Urban, as she has still been knocked out this whole time. Has not woken up once. They ascend into the sunny waves of Nevada desert, and credits. That is Doom 2015.
2005.
2005, excuse me. Well, yeah, I guess in my mind, I didn't want to accept that it's that old. This movie,
You're old.
This movie is almost 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, would you recommend this film for anyone to see?
If you just played Doom 3 and want to kind of see some of those monsters in live action, yeah.
Would you recommend this film to be bought, rented, or passed then, if you're not a Doom fan?
I would say maybe rent or watch it on a streaming network if it's on there, but other than that, I wouldn't pay money to see it.
If you were to rate this film on a scale of 1 to 10, Tom, what would you rate it?
6. Just a 6.
A 6?
Yeah. It's entertaining, but it's not anywhere coherent, so
I think
we'll say 6.
I would
5 or 6.
Okay, you talked about it. I was gonna sit down and try to think. You gave Army of the Dead a 6.5, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I would give this a 5.5. It's 5.5. It's close. It's a film. Could it go higher? Could I give it a 6.0? Yes. Only on this, okay? I would not recommend that you watch this. Unless you want to get drunk with some friends or high or something, and you just want to rip this movie apart or just have a good time. This is one of those movies. This is one of those movies, maybe almost like a Mortal Kombat Annihilation, where you could just make fun of it the whole time, but there's still some kind of value in it, unlike Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which has none. This is a movie that you could joke around, enjoy it for that sense, to make fun of it, but also there are some kind of cool parts. The actors are great. It's not their best roles, but 5.5. If you're drinking and have a good time, give it a 6. Rent it or streaming platform. That'd be my best bet. I bought this, so fuck
yeah.
Me.
I think I bought it before too. I'm pretty sure I had it on DVD a while ago.
I'm sure during when you're living with us and you had that giant movie collection.
Now I've got an idea for a new movie, a new Doom movie. Now, how would you feel about Carl Urban reprising his role as the Slayer?
Okay.
Movie opens to red skies, and you're back inside of a room.
Okay.
This coffin opens up, and out you see is Carl Urban in the original fucking Doom Slayer armor, up on Mars, and there's a fucking Hellgate in front of him. Would you be fucking pumped to see that movie? If
you're telling me that they would actually make a real Doom movie, and I'm not talking about Doom Annihilation. I'm talking about just
I don't even. That one doesn't exist in my mind.
There you go. Yes, if Carl Urban were to come back, and he would get the Judge Dredd treatment, where helmet's on and it never comes off, and the man is just wreaking havoc, and he's buff as shit because he's Carl Urban, and he could do it. I see you in The Boys. I see that body underneath that butcher. All right, I get it. I got you, Carl Urban. I understand. Yeah, in a heartbeat, I would love to see that. I think that
and
would
like filmed in just a pure action style, none of this dark corridor thing, like full on demon slaying. He's got to destroy all the priests on Mars before they can open portal to Earth.
100%.
That would be fucking awesome.
Yes,
especially with like the new renewed interest in Doom with Doom Eternal and the new remake.
Yes, I feel
like that would be excellent.
That is exactly what this franchise needs. Unfortunately, it'll never happen.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be cool. Carl Urban, bring him back. He's already got the serum or whatever.
Yeah.
You can make it a distant sequel.
Yeah. They freeze him. They freeze him for like thousands of years. And the what they thought were what they thought on Mars was the Doom thing. No, there was something deeper, something darker, and only Carl Urban's the one who can fight it off now. Something like that. You could easily you could do that. But that is the end of SNNATM. Again, the post show is going to be very brief. I'm not going to lie. We're just going to be discussing about possibilities for the next film. But for now, guys, thanks for joining. If you're not going to be a part of the post show, I'm me. That's Tom. And we will catch you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye. And we're back with the post show. Just that easy nowadays when you're recording on YouTube. I don't have to hit stop and record and do a whole new thing. I love it. All right.
Is it just a post show button?
Nah, it's pretty much fade to black, fade back in.
Oh.
Yeah,
excellent.
I love it. Tom, we were talking about the possibilities of the next week's movies, and we have two choices that we kind of came to mind. All right, you thought of another one.
Nope, I know stick to these ones.
All right, we're gonna stick to these ones. So we have two choices. We have either the option of, still as a contender, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Hell of a Ride, Street Fighter, starring one of our favorite, well, at least one of my favorite villains of all time, M. Bison. Just the portrayal of him in this movie. Or, if we do this, I have to preface it, we would be doing the whole franchise of it. It would be Resident Evil. Yes, sorry. Resident Evil. We would start that series, and the only time we would stop would be when there's a new movie that comes out that we want to review. You know, like how we did with Army of the Dead. We came in with that. If something comes new, that'd be something that we put in between. If we need something to make us feel better, you know what I mean? Because we can't take Resident Evil Afterlife Apocalypse Remix. If we need something better, maybe we'll start something else down the road. But to continue the idea with the video game franchises, it would either be Street Fighter, and also that would mean if we do Street Fighter, we would lead into Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. right, or we move on to the Resident Evil franchise. Tom, when the schmucks decide, when they vote, which one will be the one that you hope gets picked?
I don't know. I haven't seen the original Street Fighter in a very, very, very long time. So it's going to be like the new viewing for me. So I don't know how bad it is in my mind right now. But
again, it is one of those movies from my childhood that I remember. I don't know why I do, but I do. There's a lot to talk about in a fun way, and there's a lot to talk about in a negative way. And there's Resident Evil. Resident Evil has a lot to talk about in a bad way, a lot to talk about in a make fun of way, and there's just a couple bright spots when it comes to Resident Evil.
What?
Like Resident Evil 1. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I was just gonna say. We're gonna enjoy the first review. After that, it's just gonna be hate.
Apocalypse might be okay.
I think you might need to rewatch that.
I mean, unfortunately, we might. We just might. But it is the idea of like, I remember I'm like, all right, there's Zach Ward who makes a return. If we watch if we watch this franchise, Zach Ward comes back. The guy who played Postal Dude, he comes back in Apocalypse. So,
oh yeah,
we would have another returning character. a returning actor from a different franchise into this. And also, I remember when I was a kid, I kind of enjoyed it because when I was a teenager, because they had the dude from Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, and then Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo, or he was the guardian of the Mummy in the Mummy Brandon Fraser franchise.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like his moment to shine, which unfortunately didn't last too long for us. Obviously, he is he's a bigger star, I believe, in Europe, but this was his introduction for us. So we got some options: Schmucks, Jean-Claude Van Damme, v. Mila Jovovich. You decide. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. But for now, that was just a very short post show. Thanks for joining, everybody. We love y'all. We got some stuff to do because we're adults, but we'll catch you next time, okay?